Groovy.
Hey everybody, Jim here with another collection video, and today we're taking a look at one of the more obscure series in my collection, and that's the Valis series of games, which kind of fell off after the 16-bit generation. There were 8-bit and 16-bit games, and then the license got bought up by some company whose name I can't remember, and they started to turn it into like hentai visual novel games called Valis Cross. I don't have any of those. I've never played any of those. Not really interested to, but what I do have here is most of the Valis releases for consoles. So let's go ahead and take a look. Valis, the original. What I have here is the Famicom, Mega Drive, and PC Engine ports. I guess I'll start with the Famicom version. This one, first I'll just preempt this by saying that this first game was originally released on like Japanese home computers, like the MSX and the PC-88 something or other. It had a bunch of home PC releases before it was released for the Famicom, and the Famicom version is kind of interesting in that it's more or less like the MSX version. It's an action game, but you kind of are free to kind of explore each level. There are a lot of different paths you can take, and you know, you find various items and defeat various characters and talk to others, and that's how each level progresses. I'm not gonna say it's like a Castlevania 2 or something like that. Almost more like I guess the MSX version of the original Castlevania, where each level is, you know, on its own, but within that level you can explore quite a bit. So the original Valis on Famicom, it's fun, but it can get a little confusing at times. You know, the rest of the series is more or less straightforward action platformers, and I guess that's how I like it best. But the original Valis on Famicom, and again the MSX and whatever else it was released on, still really cool. And then here we have the PC Engine and Mega Drive releases, and this one I do believe was also released in North America for the Genesis. This one just a straightforward action platforming game. They're both good. I do prefer the first one. This PC Engine version of the first game, probably my favorite in the series. It, you know, plays pretty well. Good visuals, good sound design, you know, which is to be expected. Actually, all the ones on CD have really great soundtracks. The soundtrack and soundtracks in general in the Valis series, not so bad, but when they're on the CD, they're just, you know, made that much better. So I do prefer this one. It is more or less my favorite Valis release. Oddly enough, this one came out after the sequels on the PC Engine, which is kind of odd. I don't know why it took them so long to port over the original game. But yes, the original Valis, if you can play it on Mega Drive or PC Engine. Actually, I think this one was also released on the TurboGrafx, if I'm not mistaken. A number of these were released in the States. Yeah, the original Valis. Pretty cool game, great way to kick off the series. You're introduced to the main character, Yuko, the Phantasm Soldier. She fights monsters and demons and all kinds of crap in the dream world and demon world and all that good stuff. But yeah, the original Valis for the Famicom, Mega Drive, and PC Engine. Some pretty cool games. Valis 2 and SD Valis, or as it's called in North America, Sid of Valis, which I'm under the understanding that was just some kind of error in translation at some point. I don't know why you just add an extra letter to that. It's kind of self-descriptive, super deformed. It's the little cutesy version of Valis 2, and this is my least favorite of all the Valis games. Both of them, really. This one is like, you know, the graphics are nice enough, I guess. It's got kind of a cute, charming, chibi thing going on. But yeah, it controls really slippery. It's kind of a not really very fun game to play at all. It's kind of just a broken, you know, crappy platformer. And the Valis 2 on the PC Engine and also on the TurboGrafx 16, I don't like this one as well. This one, to me, somehow just feels cheap. Who the hell This one was made by CD Lasersoft. That's another thing. These games were kind of passed around a lot. The Mega Drive and PC Engine ports of the first game were handled by Riot. Riot actually made, you know, some decent games for the PC Engine and Mega Drive. So that's good. This CD Lasersoft, I don't know who the hell CD Lasersoft is. They made these. They're not very good. I mean, the graphics and sound design are still pretty good. Not as good as the original, in my opinion. But the gameplay is just kind of shitty. I don't know how else to explain it. This one, not as fun. Does not control nearly as well. Yeah, these are my least favorite games in the Valis series. They're not totally like unenjoyable. There's some fun to be had here, but for the most part, they are kind of, you know, broken, low quality, cheap action platformers, I guess you could say. Anyway, Valis 2 and SD Valis, yeah, not my favorite games in the world, and my least favorite Valis games. Valis 3. So this is a case where both ports are more or less the exact same game. You have 3 characters to choose from that you can swap between on the fly. And this one is a big improvement over Valis 2. It's, again, a straightforward kind of action platforming style game, and it actually plays pretty well. The controls, everything, even though this one on the PC Engine still handled by CD Lasersoft, the Mega Drive version handled by Renovation, who Renovation also made some really great games for the Mega Drive. This one I like quite a bit, actually. I like it definitely a lot more than the second one. I like the characters. I like the plot is pretty cool. That, you know, they introduce like a new like demon world invasion thing or something, and I guess Yuko has to become like the goddess or some crazy shit like that, and you get to play as Cham and Valna. It's pretty cool. Has some kind of more Castlevania-esque leanings than the other ones, I think. But I like this one a lot, and this is a good instance where, regardless if you're playing the Mega Drive or the PC Engine port or the TurboGrafx CD port, it's more or less the same game. Obviously, there's going to be some graphical and sound differences, but they play more or less the same, and they're both pretty damn good. A lot of fun. Valis 3 for either system, definitely not a bad game. Check it out. Valis 4 for the PC Engine and Super Famicom. I'll just say this is kind of an instance where I said the original Valis was released on like a whole bunch of different PC platforms, and then it was you know, MSX, Famicom, Mega Drive, PC Engine. As the series kept going, the games were released on fewer and fewer platforms, and actually these are the only 2 versions of Valis 4. The other ones, I think, had some other PC versions as well. This one only released on Super Famicom or the Super Nintendo if you're in North America. I think it's called Super Valis 4. In Japan, it's actually just called Super Valis, and then Valis 4 on the PC Engine. These also put out by CD Lasersoft. This is actually, I'm going to go ahead and say, my second favorite Valis game. I feel like it plays just a bit better than Part 3. You do still have 3 characters to choose from. You're not playing as Yuko anymore. Yuko's like a goddess floating around in a bubble in heaven or something. So you're using these 2 chicks to try to like find her. What are the names? Reina and something else. You're trying to find her so that you can get her Phantasm sword, so you can defeat some Demon King thing or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of, you know, wacky, you know, all over the place. But good looking games, good sounding games, and they play really well too. So if you're in the States and you can get your hands on, because I don't think the 4th one was released on the TurboGrafx CD, but if you can get your hands on the Super Nintendo version, do it, because it's a good game. Like I said, you have a few different characters to swap between. They all have their own specific abilities. One girl has the slide ability, the other has a double jump, and then you can play as this big demon guy who can walk over like spikes and things like that, and he's pretty powerful. So really fun, pretty good action platformers. Valis 4 and Super Valis, both of them really good. And that's it. Those are all of the Valis games in my collection. Like I said, that's most of them. Pretty much the only ones I don't have are the ones for like MSX or whatever PC versions that were released. And also, yeah, Valis Cross, the porno Valis games. I don't have those. I'm never gonna have those, and I don't think I'm ever gonna have like the MSX one either. I would love to get into playing some MSX games, but it's a pretty costly system to one, purchase, and then also to collect for, because the games go for outrageous prices. But anyway, Valis, pretty cool series, kind of a more obscure series, but one I like anyway. You in the comments, have you ever played any of the Valis games on the TurboGrafx, Genesis, or Super Nintendo? And if you did, what did you think of them? I'd like to know. And until next time, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.